We're back on the air. This is Radio Entrepreneurs. My name is Jeffrey Davis. And our next guest, our reporter, our financial reporter, Manny Frangiadakis from 12 Point Wealth Management. Welcome, Manny.
Thanks, Jeff. Good to be back.
Thank you. And we're going to talk about millennials, right?
Yep.
You know, that it is a big issue. I do talk to millennials, and they wonder where if they have money, how are they going to keep it? And if they don't have money, how are they going to get it? It's tougher.
It is tough. And you're starting to see a lot of millennials starting to bump up their pay increase. You know, they're getting into these jobs, as baby boomers start to leave out, they're getting into these more executive roles, whether it's with startups or, other companies that have been in existence or starting up their own industry. I mean, a lot of this whole startup phase has been going on for the last 10, 15 years, and I think it's drawing a lot of attention. Some of these millennials are really starting to see increases in pay and their salaries, and there's questions that are coming up. What do I do with it? How do I invest smartly? How do I go from here to the next level?
Is there a difference between financial plans for millennials and anyone else?
Oh, yeah, I would say so. I think you're dealing with millennials and the age gap that they have between them and Gen X or Gen Y and baby boomers. I think that plays a huge role into how you look at to a financial plan. I think at the beginning you deal with millennials and you deal with more of the education side. I think that this country never really spent a lot of time educating the youth of this country in terms of finance and, whether it's banking, whether it's managing debt, whether it's saving for the future. I think that these kids are coming out of college and they're coming out of these high-paying jobs and they really don't know what to do with it. So I think that the main difference is that when you start a financial plan for a millennial, there's a huge amount of education going into where is this income coming from? What's your cash flow look like? What are the goals that you want to do? Do you want to pay off debt first? Do you want to start investing in the future? Are you married and are you expecting to have kids? I mean, if you have a millennial that wants to do a financial plan and they have young children, a good amount of that could probably start going into college savings or college education versus a Gen X, Gen Y, a baby boomer for that instance might be looking at how do I max out for retirement. That age gap plays a huge role. I mean, as you look at it, that's one of the biggest advantages that a millennial could have is that they have that time frame.
Right, it's a good point.
Going from then to retirement.
But, virtually every one of my baby boomer friends has or is working on some form of financial plan or revising their strategy because they're looking at, different income streams as they're getting older. Is it hard to convince millennials that it's time to sit down and talk?
No, I think that a lot of them are actually interested in investing. Now, whether or not that means that they don't trust the market or what kind of investments they're looking at, I do think that they want to be starting to put money away. I think they're interested in it. I think a lot of millennials watched what happened to their parents in other generations in 2000 and 2007, and when you hear stories about people's retirement accounts just getting cut in half when a market turns around, I think it's pretty scary. So I think that they're looking at different things, and I think that plays to their advantage. I think that they are more educated than previous generations. So when you talk about being able to put alternatives into a financial plan or different strategies, they're more willing to listen and learn versus a baby boomer might be like, no, I don't understand these things. Just keep me in stocks and bonds.
Right. What about the industry in general? Are they looking at millennials any different? Are there trends at all nationwide?
Huge trends. You're looking at technology playing a huge role. You're looking at how this generation was raised playing a huge role. You're talking about most of these people, especially the younger version millennials, grew up with always having a smartphone, with always being able to access anything via their phone. You're looking at companies like Betterment and Wealthfront, which are completely internet-based wealth management solutions. You don't deal with an advisor anymore. It's what is called a robo-advisor, and that's where the market's pretty much trending.